I specifically told myself to do a simple look. I look like a rejected member of Gem and the Holograms right now. Okay, so I think I'm supposed to do these little like messages before. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. You know, I hit 100 subscribers in the first like week or so. You know, that doesn't seem like a lot, but you know, I heard that it was really hard to get subscribers on YouTube if you're trying to be interesting. So the fact that I hit 100 that quickly is really exciting for me. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. I really hope you guys find this interesting. If you do, like, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends about me. I don't care if you shit talk me, that's totally fine, but tell them about me anyway. Yeah, and tell me what stuff you guys want to see. What's like making you excited? What's cool? What's interesting? Is there cool makeup I should be getting? Like, do you like this look? Should I do more of this nonsense? I look like an 80s workout video right now. I haven't worked out in forever, so I'm gonna shoot the intro of this thing. So like just throw some makeup on, like just something little. Here we are 20 minutes later. So please hit subscribe, please like, please comment on my videos. Ow, I just hit my hand. Like seriously, thank you guys so much. This really means a lot to me. Also, super crazy, but half of you guys don't even know my Instagram. My Instagram handle is Kara Zazula, same as my YouTube channel. I'll put all that info below, and let's get started on today's video. So today I wanted to do something super duper cool for you guys. I kind of wanted to do a different version of like get ready with me videos, but kind of take you through all the steps that I do to do my like heavier special effects looks. So this is going to be a get ready with me video, but I'm going to take you through every single step of completing my Grinch costume for this year. This eyelash has got a mind of its own. Get down. Pretty much everything that I do when it comes to my photos, which if you are friends with me on Instagram, you have seen a lot of the looks, like I did 31 Days of Halloween, some random odds and ends and stuff that I do. I wish that they were more consistent for you guys. I wish that I had more time on my hands to give you a new crazy look every single day of the year. I'm not there yet. I am, as promised, doing 12 Days of Christmas, almost said Halloween. Hello. So with all my looks, I usually do everything myself. That goes without saying, and I'm sure that that's not anything special because I know that there's amazing YouTubers and influencers and stuff who do all their stuff themselves. It's a very special process to me. I really like doing it. I like keeping my hands busy. I love, you know, making stuff. So I'll walk you through everything that I do, from building the prosthetic, because I didn't have a Grinch prosthetic, and I went to the store, the beauty supply store, to get a Grinch prosthetic after like weeks of being like, I don't want to make one, I don't want to make one, I don't want to make one. I was just so tired. I was just like, I don't want to make one. The girl at the beauty supply store that I go to, Friends, she goes, well, why don't you just make it? And I was like, thanks, Carol. It's exactly what I didn't want to do, but I did. So I'm going to start with that. I'm going to start with how I build the prosthetic, sculpt the prosthetic. I didn't want to sculpt the prosthetic. Where am I going? I'm all over the place here. So I'm going to start with how I build the mold and sculpt it, and then from there how I cast the prosthetic. And then with this look I did a wig styling too. So how I'm going to go through how I styled the wig, how I set up my kitchen to turn into my home studio for photo shoots, how I take the photos, and then I'm going to try add in how I Photoshop, or at least do like the editing process. But that's kind of back end stuff. You guys you don't care about that, right? Building a prosthetic, making the wig, doing the makeup, obviously, duh. And yeah, let's get ready. Let's start this fucking show and let's become the Grinch, but like sexy Grinch. Hopefully going through this process too will actually give you guys a better insight as to why like I just go dark on Instagram for like almost a week straight sometimes, is because most of this takes a while. This actually, I'm actually impressed with how quickly I got everything done for the Grinch. This took me all in all about 3 days. I did make a glove, a hand glove that was like hairy. However, I hated it. I was also planning on doing a more like Jim Carrey Grinch version originally, and then somewhere in the middle, which is what usually happens, I decided to change it. Yeah, so let's go on this journey. I'm gonna try to get like another one of these in here before the end of the year. Let's see. I feel like that's all I'm gonna say. If not, it's probably gonna be in the description below. I've always wanted to do that. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. I love answering comments, so please do. Let's do this. This is gonna be pretty fun. I think this is gonna be a fun one. I think you're gonna like it. Alright, so let's get started with the sculpting process. I use low fire clay, which means it can be fired at a low temperature and it'll dry white, but I don't usually use it for firing up. It's just really easy to work with and responds well to creating textures and small details. Low fire clay does dry as you work with it, but I keep a spray bottle on hand and I cover it with a damp cloth when I'm taking breaks. Oil-based clay doesn't dry when you work with it, so that's another option for those without spray bottles. So I first block out the main areas like the eyebrow bone, nose, and cheeks. I like to smooth out all the features as much as possible before adding details, so that's kind of what I'm doing during the blocking process. Once you've got a good smooth surface on your finished areas, you can start carving out the wrinkles and the details. My original plan was to make a full cast of this so I could keep making prosthetic pieces to sell and give away, but I didn't, and I just need to accept that. So instead, I made a few quick casts using liquid latex. I use casting latex, which is a little bit thicker than the liquid latex that you get from like the Halloween store. So I cover the sculpt with about 5 to 8 layers of latex, using a piece of upholstery foam instead of a normal sponge. The upholstery foam gives a more realistic skin texture finish, and it spreads the latex a little bit more evenly. Now we're going to try to figure out how to make this $10 Amazon wig that I bought for my Jared Leto Joker look during Halloween look cute and pin-uppy. So while sitting on my living room floor watching Netflix, I'm going to section off parts of this wig and curl them into these foam rollers. Try to make sure you get all of them going in the same direction, or else your waves are going to look a little wonky at the end. After this, we're going to steam the wig, but I did that off camera, and we're going to let the curls dry overnight. And then the next morning, with coffee and my dog passed out right over there, I'm going to remove these curlers and start styling. Start with brushing out the curls, and then just let the curls sort of dictate what you style. You really don't want to fight the curls too much, or else it's going to frustrate you to no end. I'm teasing out sections for the dramatic bang area, and then I'm going to smooth it and style it. This wig was so frustrating to work with because hard front wigs are kind of made to be worn as is. So when you're a rebel like me and you want it to look different, you kind of just have to suffer through the terrible track job on these cheap things. Finally, let's start on the makeup. I'm putting a layer of Prosade on my forehead to start lining up the face appliance. I normally would start applying wow, that's fucking hard to say. I normally would start applying an appliance this big from the nose and then working outward. However, this piece didn't really have enough layers of latex on it, so it just wasn't strong enough to do that. So we work with what we got. I'm not going to worry too much about blending out the outer edges of the prosthetic, mainly because I know that all of that will be covered by the wig in the photos. I try to save time anywhere I can. Full face appliances can be really tricky to put on, so just take your time and be careful, especially around the eyes and mouth when you're putting on the Prosade. And once that's on, I'm going to use a mixture of Prosade and latex to blend out the harsh edges on it. And now we paint. I'm using Ben Nye Cream Makeup in green for the base. This is also when I go around and just make sure that the edges of the prosthetic are flat as they can be, and remove any other small pieces of the flashing that need to go away. I'm going in with Mean Green from the Melt Cosmetics Smoke Sessions palette to fill in the creases for shading. Then I'm going to line the nose, muzzle, whatever area with my Kat Von D Trooper liner. I'm also going into the crease of my eye with Mean Green. Powder on top of cream makeup on top of latex is not the smartest idea, FYI. Put a good primer down first, or else you're going to have blending issues like I may or may not be having right now. I use NYX Cosmetics White Cream Lid Primer for the inner lid to make it pop. I used Gravity OG on top of it from the Smoke Sessions palette as well, but I did end up changing my mind later and I used a Stila Cosmetics liquid eyeshadow over that. The green wasn't popping like I wanted it to, so I added Kryolan UV water activated makeup over areas that I really wanted to pop, which kind of ended up being pretty much my whole face. I filled in my nose with NYX Vinyl Liquid Liner and then put a bit on the end of my paintbrush to fill in the whisker indent things on the muzzle. This was super sloppy because that part of the prosthetic was weak. More shading using Mean Green and adding more of the green cream makeup to the rest of my body. My lips are Kat Von D Outlaw Liquid Lipstick with a gloss from Anastasia Beverly Hills applied over. Now I'm putting the wig on and I'm just making sure that the edges on the side are covered and that the hairline doesn't look super terrible. And I don't think it looks too shabby. So I set up my Nikon, my lights, and my backdrop in my kitchen and I shoot with a self-timer. And this is the Grinch hand that I ended up tossing away after taking a couple photos with because it just didn't look right. So, sorry, my bra is hanging out. I was trying to hoe it up. And that shirt doesn't really fit correctly. So I take about like 100 to 200 photos and then I scroll through and I just make sure I got at least 4 or 5 good ones. I obviously didn't have the Grinch eye contacts, so I did this in Photoshop. I make a new layer and I just softly paint in the colors, making sure that it's matching the shadows that are on my eye already. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please give a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and please let me know in the comments if you want to see more videos like this. Thanks again. Happy holidays, you guys. Love you so much.